one knows what causes it, and no one knows how to cure it. The best theory we have is that it's caused by a retrovirus, the human immunodeficiency virus. Its presence is made known to us through useless antibodies, which appear in reaction to its entrance into the bloodstream through a cut or an orifice. The antibodies are useless to protect the body, and why? We don't know. The body's immune system just ceases to function. Sometimes the body even attacks itself. At any rate, it leaves a whole horror house of infections from microbes which the body usually protects against, like Kaposi sarcoma, this throat problem, your lesions, or the glands. We think that it may break through the blood-brain barrier into the brain, which is of course very bad. And Roy, it's fatal, and we don't know what percent of the cases in people with depressed immune responses.
So, Mr. Wizard, why the fuck you telling me all this?
Well, I have just performed a biopsy on one of 3 lesions, which results will probably tell us is Kaposi sarcoma. Roy, you have this pronounced swelling in your neck, your groin, and your armpits. And you have oral candidiasis. Maybe there's a little bit of fungus underneath the fingernails of 2 digits on your right hand.
So that explains why this disease...
Syndrome. It's a syndrome.
Whatever. Why this disease attacks mostly homosexuals and drug addicts.
Mostly. Hemophiliacs are also at risk.
Homosexuals and drug addicts.
I don't know where you're going with this.
What are you implying? What are you implying?
Roy.
What? What, Roy? What? What, that I'm a drug fiend? That I'm a drug addict? You want to see any tracks?
What are you doing, Roy?
Go ahead, say it.
Say what?
Say it. Say, Roy Cohn, you are a...
Oh, Roy.
Say it. Roy Cohn.
Roy, I'm not gonna play this game.
Say, Roy Cohn, you are a... It starts with an H, and it's not hemophilia.
What are you doing, Roy?
Say it, and I will systematically destroy your career, your practice, and your reputation in the state of New York, and you know I can do it.
Roy, you have been seeing me since 1958. Aside from the facelifts, I have treated you from everything from syphilis
From a whore in Dallas.
From syphilis to venereal warts in your rectum, which you may have gotten from a whore in Dallas, but it wasn't a female whore.
Okay, so say it.
Roy Cohen, you are a Roy, you've had sex with many men. Many, many, many men. One of whom, or many of whom, have made you very sick. Roy, you have AIDS.
AIDS! You know what your problem is, Henry? You're hung up on words and labels. You seem to believe that they mean what they seem to mean, but this is wrong.
No.
Homosexuals are men who have sex with other men. But this does not define who you are. No. AIDS, homosexual, gays, lesbians. They define a person for their sexual preferences. They tell you something about the person, but they don't tell you about the whole person.
No.
No. No, like all labels, they tell you what they need to tell you. Where that individual fits in the food chain, the pecking order. But they also tell you something much simpler. Does that person have clout? Now, Roy Cohn sleeps with men, but yet I can call whoever I want, whenever I want, at any hour of the day, and that person will pick up the phone. I have people who owe me favors. That's clout. I can pick up this phone, punch in 15 numbers, and in less than 5 minutes, do you know who will be on the other end of that line?
The president?
Better yet, the First Lady.
I am impressed.
I don't want you to be impressed. I want you to understand. This is not sophistry, hypocrisy. This is reality. You're defined not by what you are, by who you are. I have clout because I can take the person I'm screwing to the White House to shake President Reagan's hand and have him smile at us. Other homosexuals can't do that, Henry.
Okay, Roy. Okay.
So then, what's my diagnosis?
Roy, you have AIDS.
No, Henry. Henry, I have liver cancer.
Roy, you can call it whatever the hell you want to call it, but what it boils down to is this is very, very serious. Now look, the NIH has a test drug called AZT. There's an experiment going on that not even I can get you on. So Roy, dial those 15 numbers, get the First Lady on the phone, and ask her for her help to get you in the experimental treatment for your liver cancer. Because whatever the hell you want to call it, this is bad news. Roy! This is bad news!